What a wonderful day for a movie review, because today we are going to be talking about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, this is a movie that I was not that excited about. Like, I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, yeah, that looks alright, like, I'll definitely check it out. And I was pleasantly surprised. I actually had a really good time watching this movie and being introduced to new characters. The director, Wes Ball, I think did a really good job in setting up a lot of stuff for a new trilogy of Apes movies. And I wouldn't say I'm like a big fan of the Apes movies, like I've always liked them, I've watched them, I've enjoyed them, but I've never been like a ape die-hard fan, you know? Now with that being said, let's go ahead and start talking about pros and cons. So the first one I'm going to say is the VFX. It is absolutely stunning. It looks like you're actually watching monkeys just run around and talk to each other, like you would not know that it's animated. And the actors, the voices, the movements, everything is top tier. It looks really, really crisp. I saw this movie in IMAX, the sound was great too, and wow, I'm honestly just blown away at how good the movie looks. Like, it is so damn good. All the performances, I would say, were really good. The dialogue was good, even though it's pretty basic. Like, they're not saying anything super, super intricate. Like, these are apes. I know they're, like, really smart apes, but it's not going to be, like, Shakespearean writing. But I thought the script overall was pretty good. My favorite character is going to be the main ape, which is Noah. Very, very likable. He's actually really funny, which was something nice that I wasn't expecting. He made a couple of jokes that I really liked, and then there were some other characters that made jokes, so the movie actually had some comedy in it, which I was not really expecting. Normally the Apes movies have like a pretty serious tone to it, and especially this one, I wasn't really expecting any comedy, so whenever it happened, I was like, wow, that was funny. The supporting characters I really liked. Like I said, Wes Ball had to introduce us to a ton of stuff to set up a new trilogy, and I think he did a really good job. Like, we got to know Noah's tribe, the Eagle clan. There's like a radicalized group from a Caesar descendant. His name is Proximus Caesar, which we're going to talk about in a second. He's a really great villain. Setting up the humans as these primal people that, you know, can't really speak or do anything. Because this movie does take place in the future, about a few generations worth of time, so it could be like 300 or 400 years. That's what a lot of people are speculating, but they're not really specific on it. So it was just cool to see the humans be the primal species and then the apes basically rule the world. And that leads me into the human character of the movie, and that is May. I thought she was pretty decent. Like, I thought she was pretty interesting, you know? Like, she shows that she's actually very intelligent compared to the other humans, and the apes are mind blown. They're like, how is this human intelligent? Like, what is going on? And then it turns into like this mystery, and it's gonna set up some stuff for future movies, which I think is actually pretty cool. I do have a little bit of a problem with her character though, because they're teasing stuff, but we don't know what it is, and it's just kind of frustrating because we're only gonna get answers years from now. I would have liked a little bit more of a tease that we get a better idea as to what's actually happening with her character, because as of right now it's kind of murky, but I did like her in this movie, like her interactions with Noah and another great side character named Raka, who's like this really funny orangutan that actually knows Caesar's teachings, and he tries to live them out, unlike the radicalized group. So their little group dynamic of Noah, Raka, and May I thought was really well done. And then some of the other side characters like Noah's mother and his whole tribe, and he has a couple of like best friends within that tribe that are in this movie too. I do wish they were in it a little bit more, but it was nice to see our main character Noah have some buddies, and just seeing them interact with each other and everything I thought was pretty nice. Now we gotta talk about Proximus Caesar, because he is badass. I love the voice acting, and I love the presence that he had in this movie. He's really menacing, he's very intelligent, he wants the apes to have like this next generation where they just gather all of this intelligence, and he obviously butts heads with Noah and everything, and just the dynamic between them was really, really interesting. But I go back to his voice, like, it is so damn good. Kevin Durand absolutely crushed the performance as Proximus, and that character is just really, really interesting. Like, not only is he intimidating and very intelligent, he runs his own kingdom of like ape slaves, and they're trying to get into this one place because there's going to be stuff that's going to further their development and evolution. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but it is a really interesting plot point. I thought it could have been handled a little bit better, because essentially it's like this giant vault, and I'm not going to say like what's in it or anything, but the idea around this whole thing where they got to get in this place to get this stuff was really interesting, but then at the same time it turned into a little bit of a plot hole because you can just go around. It was just kind of weird that they thought they could only get in one specific way, and they just didn't bother to check back, different entrances. It was a little weird, so like little things like that, they won't really bother you that much, but like they are present in the movie, little inconsistencies here and there. Then the next thing I want to talk about is the action. I would say it was pretty good overall, but I wish there was a little bit more, and I wish Noah actually threw some punches, actually got into the fights a little more, because he is present for a lot of the action scenes, but he doesn't really do a whole lot, if that makes sense. I do think the movie could have benefited from at least like 1 to 2 more action sequences, but the ones that we did get were pretty good. Then I want to talk about the camera work, because Wes Ball, you did a great job, man. The camera work in this movie is top notch, especially when you've got monkeys like swinging around and climbing up walls and everything. The movement of the camera and the angles and everything was very well done. But overall, like, this movie was a really, really good time. The story was simple but effective. It introduced us to a whole bunch of new characters and concepts, and it's teasing some pretty interesting stuff in the future that might involve space. The VFX alone, I would say, is a good enough reason to go watch this movie in IMAX. Like, it looks beautiful. I do wish they explored the world a little bit more, because we're kind of like in 2 spots in the movie. We're really just at like Noah's home, and then we go to Proximus Caesar's kingdom. We really just go to 2 locations. Other than that, it's a lot of horseback riding, a lot of just, walking around, which is fine because there's good character moments while those things are happening, but I would have liked them to explore things a little bit more. Now, with that being said, I'm going to rate the movie an 8 out of 10. I think it's a really solid movie. I don't really know where it ranks amongst my favorite Apes movies, because I don't really remember them that well. That's the thing about these movies. They're really well made, they're really well reviewed, but they're just not super memorable in my opinion. Like, I've watched all the other movies, but I don't really remember much that happened. So I'm gonna have to rewatch them all, then maybe make a ranked video. But this one is really good, and the thing about these movies too is that they're all well reviewed. They're all pretty much like 8 or 8.5 out of 10. So it is a nice franchise to have, because the quality never really dips, and it's just high quality content in general. But with that being said, guys, please leave a comment down below of what you guys thought about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Did you enjoy it as much as me? Like I said, I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's a really solid film in my opinion. Wes Ball did a great job, and if he's the director for the next 2 movies, I think this franchise is in good hands. But yeah, guys, that is my review of the movie. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.